Hi, my name is Hank Friedman, and this is my review of Janus 5. If you wish to purchase Janus 5, go to janus5.com. Janus 5 is a surprisingly powerful program. In its own way, it is as powerful as Sirius, which costs twice as much or more, and Solar Fire. As you might imagine, each program has its own strengths, and Janus has many. For one, it's one of the most well-designed programs on the market. For another, it's the only program that has full reports of natal, transits, compatibility, and relocation built in. Other programs have reports, but they're much shorter. Let's give you an example. If I click on Interpretation's natal report, we will see a screen that says Generate Natal Report. On this screen, you can click View Report, and you'll see a natal report for the person, which you can then print as well as read. You can copy it to your word processor and so on. You can change the interpretation files, you can add complements, you can select the wheel for the report. There's lots of options. When you're creating a chart, you click Chart and click New Chart. You can give a name to the chart, a date, a time, and you can use their atlas to find the city or town where the person's born. The program will automatically correct for time changes like daylight savings time. And it will also, of course, find the longitude and latitude for the place. One of the things that's very useful is that you can import charts from the previous version of Janus, or you can convert chart files by clicking on File, and then Convert Chart File. And you can convert from quick charts, which you can get exported by most programs, including Sirius and Solar Fire, or from other formats. That means you won't have to enter your chart file all over again to get started with Janus. You can do it by copying the file into Janus. Janus has a great number of choices in terms of the number of charts it can generate. You can generate lunar phase charts, charts for when planets enter a sign, eclipse charts, rising and setting charts, planets at specific angles like rising or culminating, relocated charts, harmonic charts, and of course down here, charts for the moment, charts to answer questions, which is called a horary chart, traditional Hellenistic charts, Uranian dials, and Vedic charts. Among the things that are very, very useful are the tools, the wheel designer and the page designer. Very few programs have a wheel designer, and very few programs that do have a wheel designer as effective as this one and as easy to use as this one. So if I click on wheel designer and then single wheel and then standard as opposed to proportional, which means uneven houses, notice the choice is to modify an existing wheel, create one, open a template. Let's choose modifying an existing wheel and click OK. it'll show you all the wheels built in to the program. Let's just choose lilac and click open. And there you have it. You have an image of what the lilac wheel looks like, and you can modify things over on the right, all the different wheel properties, which is great. You can turn the chart so that one of the houses at instead of the first house begins the chart. You can change the size of the planets or where they are, the font size, or how far they are from the edge of the chart, and on and on and on. It's a tremendously powerful and tremendously easy to use wheel designer. There's also a page designer, and I like that one very much too. The page designer, again, allows you to either modify an existing page or open one of the, or start a new one. So let's, for instance, take a page that already exists within the program and open it. This is a dual wheel page. You can place objects on the page. You can, it shows here what objects there are, and it shows what objects you can choose from to place on the page. Notice all these things you can add to the page if you want to. And it shows what objects are already on the page. As you get to use the program, you'll become more and more facile, more and more happy and smooth at using it. So don't worry about playing with it. Don't worry about trying things out. One of the most powerful features under Predictive is transits, directions, progressions for list, timeline, and report. If you click that, again, a window pops up where you can choose whichever chart you want to use, the time frame, like how long a scan do you want, whether to relocate things like that, the planets you want in the searches, and the events you want in the searches. Here's where Janus again shines. You can include in searches much more than most other programs. You can include, for instance, supermoons, which no one else has. You can include eclipses, void of course moons, transit stations, progress stations, and so on. You can include lunar phases. But even more, you can include when planets cross the equator, or when they go out of bounds, which again, no other program has, for transits, progressions, or directions. You can choose whatever aspects that you want, and what's nice about this is they have it separated. The aspects for transits, the aspects for progressions, the aspects for directions. Again, a phenomenal and powerful thing. When you're done, you click Calculate, and it creates a listing. And the listing can be sorted by pressing one of these things at the top, or and actually the sort is over here. You can sort at the top left, collated by planet, by the transiting planet, by the natal planet, by entering exact leaving. That's what this one would do. It would resort it by which transits are happening now in chronological order. Very, very powerful. And then you can click on timeline to see a graph of the transits, which again is incredibly useful, because then you can see where there's overlaps and things like that. I'm just giving you a flavor for the incredible power of Janus. The icons, which you can customize and choose which icons you want where, tell you about many of the features. So for instance, if I click on the Vedic chart icon, you get to see some of the Vedic features that are built into the program. You can get a dasha and book delisting. You can get a planetary table. Let me pull that over, which shows you a lot about where the planets are. You can look at planetary conditions, which tells you a great deal about the planets that you may not have seen. For instance, what strengths and weaknesses it has, what planets aspect it what strength it has by its degree position, what house it rules, what its strength and weakness score is. You can even do Vedic compatibility using what's called the Ashkut system or Kuta system. You can put two people in and calculate the compatibility between them by pressing the Ashkut button. And the Panchang, which is very, very important, gives you a lot of details about the quality of the day the person is born, or any chart, like the current chart. This is very, very important for Vedic work, and most programs don't have a full Panchang. Again, there's so many features in the program that are of great value. The traditional chart, for instance, which was developed in concert with Robert Zoller, is again very, very powerful. Look at all the choices. You've got planetary sect, receptions, Arabic parts, fixed stars, profections, Fridaria, dignity table. And again, it's really excellent. And one of the things that this program now has is you can get set presets where you can choose what you want to see and what let's just click one and get it. So you can see how all of a sudden the wheel changes and you have a different display. And let me pick a different one, okay? And again, this one has another display. So these presets are very, very useful, and you have them throughout the program. So you can configure a screen just the way you want it and save it as a new preset. The Astro-mapping is, again, very, very noteworthy for a program. It has a great number of tools, and I'm going to make this map bigger. Okay, and you can choose what kind of lines you want. You can choose astrocartography lines, you can choose local space lines, and notice you can clear, and then you can select very easily the lines you want. And you can choose lines from a large number of points. Again, this program supports more points than many programs. Look at all the points it supports. Tremendous. And you can choose different aspects for both local space and for astrocartography. And there's parons and destiny crossings, which this is one of the only programs that uses destiny crossings. And again, and you can save presets. Okay? In fact, this program has the most powerful astrocartography features in some ways of any program when it comes to what are called theme maps. Because there's a lot of programs that will let you do a theme map for relationship just based on Venus lines, which is not very effective. Because the fact is that Venus represents love for everyone. But the 7th house planets and the ruler of the 7th house is much more specific. And that's what you really want to do for evaluating relationship, is see where the 7th house is, where the ruler of the 7th house, where their lines are. And most programs can't do that. So again, it also has some of the most powerful relocation reports of any place, with more details than any other program, actually, including both local space and destiny crossings, and on and on and on. Okay? This is my initial review of Janus. I hope it serves you. Thank you.